Meanwhile, the Controller of Budget, Dr. Margaret Nyakang'o, has warned that the increasing expenditure on public debt risks crippling key government projects.
She noted that as of 31st December 2024, the public debt stock was 10.93 trillion shillings, with the debt ceiling surpassed to above 65.7% of gross domestic products.
Now, Dr. Nyakang'o advised the government to ensure project readiness before borrowing. Why? To avoid premature debt commitments.
Additionally, the Controller of Budget has expressed concern over the 1.3 trillion shillings exchequer withdrawals, which she claims were done outside the automated system designed for accountability.
Kam Chimeza puts that story in perspective.
While appearing before the National Assembly's Liaisons Committee to give insights on Treasury's proposed medium-term debt strategy, the Controller of Budget, Dr. Margaret Nyakang'o, faulted trends in domestic borrowing, terming it a drawback on the country's debt management strategy.
In the last financial year, the one that we are now using as a baseline to plan forward, we found out that a lot of debt was domestic and the rates were a lot higher than even for external debt, especially where the shilling was strong, and so it was cheaper to borrow externally.
Clearly you are saying that that trajectory is not favorable to us, because if we do not adopt a sustainable debt management system, we will not be able to partake development initiatives.
If we continue taking domestic debt under those rates, definitely it is going to be harmful to the economy, because it crowds out the businesses borrowing within the country.
The COB also raised concern on the high interest rates that surpass the principal amount borrowed.
For shorter and shorter durations. Again, we are saying the shorter the borrowing time, the more the pressure on the cash flows.
Is there a possibility for me to see a debt-free Kenya in my lifetime?
I cannot promise you that. And it's not even a good thing to be debt-free. But if you borrow and put what you borrow into productive sectors of the economy, it is self-balancing. Ultimately, you will find that you require less and less of the debt. So, even if you will not go down to zero, you will have what we call a sustainable debt, which will leave space for future generations to borrow. Right now, where we are, it's like we have borrowed for all the generations that are coming.
On debt management, the Controller of Budget proposed that Parliament advises Treasury to convert short-term loans to long-term, Treasury to link loans to projects to avert diversion of funds, broaden revenue base, transparency in loan contracts, and public disclosure, among others. Reacting to a report that indicated irregular exchequer withdrawals of 1.3 trillion shillings, the Controller of Budget revealed that the requisition was done manually instead of an automated system which links the Central Bank of Kenya, Treasury, and the Office of the Control of Budget. While she indicated that she oversees both withdrawals, Dr. Nyakang'o raised concern on the use of manual, yet there is a system for transparency.
Withdrawal of 1.3 trillion in 7 months, and they were withdrawing it manually. So what is your take on that?
The Treasury has been operating certain aspects of the exchequer outside that automated system. So what we saw as the 1.3 trillion are the exchequers that they have been requisitioning outside the automated system. So I do both. I do both the manual and the automated. But my question was then, if we have the automated system, why are we still requisitioning manually?
The committee is currently making considerations on the budget policy statement. Kam Chimenza for Prime Edition.